What's up? What's going on, guys? Fight breakdown here, and we're going to be breaking down some of the UFC 239 stare downs for UFC 239. We got Holly Holm, we got John Jones, Thiago Santos, Amanda Nunes, Michael Chiesa. We got a lot of big fighters on this card. This is a very good card, probably one of the best ones of the year, in my opinion. I think we got Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal, which is going to be great. So, yeah, here we go. Going to do a little body language breakdown. One of the things I like to do on this channel, use my skills I've learned over the years of reading body language, things like that. Lie detection, I've studied these things pretty in depth. That's why I'm qualified to do this. Obviously, I'm not just some guy saying, oh, he did this, so that means he's scared. I have some experience in this, so it's always nice to give people a little bit better of insight. So yeah, here we go. All right, so first thing we notice here, Diego comes in leaning in very much so. This could mean a couple things. I would almost say this is kind of an attempt to control a frame. Now, what a frame is frame is something that's like an NLP, basically. It's the way a dynamic is. It's the underlying dynamics of an interaction and things like that. Usually if someone does something like gets out of the room and leaves or interrupts someone, they're trying to control the frame. They're trying to dictate how the situation goes. That's a frame. So it looks like Diego Sanchez is kind of trying to control the frame a little bit by leaning in, maybe taking away some of Chiesa's personal space. You notice Chiesa is a little bit tensed up, his shoulders, probably a little less comfortable with this than Diego Sanchez is. Diego Sanchez always does this kind of thing where he gets in people's faces. So I would say it's nothing too crazy, or he's not compensating too much. It looks pretty normal for him. But if I didn't see him do this before, I would think he was compensating. And looks like they're maybe friends a little bit. Everyone's smiling, including Dana White. And Chiesa breaks the tension first, which means he's probably less comfortable with it than Diego Sanchez is. Diego jokes back, of course. And you notice they both look down in a sign of respect. Diego is still looking at Michael Chiesa as Michael Chiesa looks away. And then looks back because he sees Diego Sanchez is still holding the eye contact. So if I had to pick a winner, it would be Diego Sanchez. Michael Chiesa actually doesn't look too comfortable here. It kind of looks like he's flexing a little bit, kind of has his shoulders up like he's trying to look a certain way. He looks less comfortable in these stare downs and things like this than other fighters are, but that's okay. He's had a good career, so just because someone's uncomfortable, that's the thing about fighting. When you get in there, it's a fight. It's not a stare down contest. Diego looks much more confident, as you can see, staring at people, staring at reporters around the room. Chiesa kind of looks like he's stonewalling it a little bit, then gives a thumbs up, bounces. That thumbs up, I don't think really meant anything. And we got this guy going on himself. I don't know his name. Looks pretty confident. Shoulders lean back, making good eye contact. No compensating or uncomfortable gestures. He looks very confident. Strong posture, too. And this guy, Ben Askren, man, I love Ben Askren. Despite what anyone thinks about him, he's funny. Walks on stage, great posture, shoulders back, head up. Starts making jokes, is acting as if he's already won the fight, announcing his own fight. Asks Dana White if he could raise his hand. This is why people like Ben Askren. This is why he's gained so much popularity, and he's probably getting paid more than a lot of fighters because he does stuff like this. Great vocal projection, looks at the crowd, very confident. Confident guy. Makes everyone laugh. And anyone who can make someone laugh has a lot of influence in a room because they can break people's states. They can change their the way they're acting in a situation, right? They have a lot of power in any situation. So Ben Askren is one of those guys. He's not afraid to speak up either. Amanda Nunes comes in, leans in, a little bit of a submissive posture, touches Dana first, then touches Holly. Holly doesn't touch Dana first, which could be, I know Dana has a bit of a better relationship with Amanda, so this could kind of just be indicative of maybe that. I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into it. Now, right away, Holly has a very good posture, very straight up, it looks like nothing can affect her. And, like we saw in the Ronda Rousey and her stare down, which I will break that down. Ronda looked a little bit silly, but that's okay. So you can see Amanda face scanning a little bit versus Holly just looks like a stone cold killer. I would say Holly's winning so far. Usually when you're face scanning, you're trying to read someone. You're trying to pick up on how they're reacting, so maybe you can adjust to a situation. It's kind of just telegraphing that you care a bit. Holly does not care. And then she does a self-comforting lip lick. There's several things we do with our lips. We do lip sucks, lip kisses. We stick our lips out when we're uncomfortable. It's also a self-comforting mechanism. Gives our body something to focus on to help relieve the tension. And she has a self-comforting lip lick. And a little bit of a lip suck. And this is funny. They still hold here. I think Amanda was about to break away. I'm not sure. But Holly is staying no matter what. She's staying until Amanda leaves, no matter what. And Dana comes back. And Amanda breaks it with a smile. You can tell she's a little bit more uncomfortable with the situation. Usually the one who's more uncomfortable is the one who breaks first, as we kind of saw Michael Chiesa do. She breaks first. Holly still looks like a stone cold killer. No smile, nothing. Holly's got very confident body language. And Amanda's got her 2 belts. Kind of looks a bit new to those belts. Like, when you saw Connor hold those belts, he looked very like, I deserve these. Like, these are mine. She doesn't exactly look that way. She kind of looks like she's new to being a double champ. She's not used to it yet. She's not sure what to expect. So, yeah. And then Holly faces her to see if she's going to give her anything, as if they should acknowledge each other again and shake hands. Looks up, goes in for a handshake, shakes her hand. You notice this kind of dip in the knees and the dip in the body. Could have been just so she could hold on to her, hold on to her belts. But usually when we're nervous, we'll do these little dips and things like that with our bodies as a way to kind of, like I said, relieve tension or just kind of relieve stress. Maybe, you're a guy talking to a pretty girl, you kind of start to fidget a little bit, maybe move your feet around, stuff like that. It's more of that your posture will get broken because you're nervous. And as you can see here, Holly's posture is very straight up, very strong. Hers is kind of bent, and she's not, as you can see, she didn't even really look at Holly. All right, let's see. Right. Holly, I guess, sort of didn't look at her, but hers is much more kind of it looks much more, much more reactive than Holly's does. Could be also because she's, in Brazil, they do have, they're much more respect-oriented towards their opponents and things like that. So could be a little bit of that because of the submissive behavior. I don't know exactly. John Jones. John Jones has some of the best body language in the UFC, aside from Conor McGregor. Very confident body language. Very, very. He's got a presence about him, just very calm and relaxed, and just very, very easygoing. He's got a vibe that just kind of sucks you in a way. Much more chill in his face. That was very subtle here. Lots of times when when someone has more dominance in a frame or in a situation than we do, we'll tend to react to them. And you'll see John gives this kind of wide-eyed, like funny stare at him, as you can see right there, right? And right after that is very subtle. Right. So he gives this little wide-eyed, kind of funny, like fake intimidation look to Santos. Right. See, right there. Right. He just raises his eyes a little bit of a joke. As you can see, Santos kind of does it back in reaction a bit, instead of kind of standing there stone cold like Holly did. I would say John Jones is the winner in this case. And the stare down doesn't mean he'll win the fight, but he won the stare down. 1-0 John. But he probably will win the fight. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Fight Breakdown. Until next time.